Welcome back, guys, to my channel. McKenna here, stitching in sequins. I haven't stitched in sequins in a long time. I still have all my sequins, don't you worry. So yeah, a lot to talk about today. Show you, finish, framed, shop 1884, shop update, all kinds of goodness. So yeah, hope you guys have been well since the last time you guys saw me. I've been stitching, went out of town for the weekend with the family. You know, it was the least I could do. Usually I'm the one leaving them, but decided, you know, I should do something and we should all go away. So let's just get into it. Let me pull my card on over. So I think I definitely got a little burnt out on stitching anything Halloween dark related. I had finished last month Mystic Stitch from Primitive Needle. And then I know I stitched something else. Like I'm looking around my room seeing if I can find it. But anyway, it just hasn't been calling me, which I think we all get in those sort of waves of being really stuck on stitching a specific theme, holiday, and then you totally lose it and then you jump into something else completely different. And what's completely different than what I usually do, I wanted to stitch Christmas. So my idea, let me actually grab so you can see the actual thing. The last, well, no, because my grandma died this year. So end of May, beginning of May, end of April, doesn't matter. End of April, I took the boys up to Washington to kind of, we knew my grandma was passing at that point. The boys wanted to see her for one last time. The three of us flew up. So they used to have, or they still had in their house, an actual wood burning stove. And I remember growing up, my grandfather would go out, chop wood, bring it in. Now they would heat the house either way. But when I would be up there for visiting or whatever, I always loved it. And so they would heat the house or throw a log in, you know, in the cast iron metal fireplace. So there were still logs stacked up in the woodshed. So I didn't know what I was going to do with the log. And I have it in the USPS because it's wood, it sort of gets dirty, so I just have it in here. But I took a log and trying to figure out what I wanted to use this for. So the diameter is 4 inches, and so I got the idea of wanting to stitch Christmas ornaments that fit within the 4-inch diameter, if not smaller, because my grandfather loved Christmas. So I told Joe, like, hey, I want you to slice them into, you know, rounds, drill a hole through the top so I can attach string. We'll like shellac them, varnish them to seal them, and then I'm going to stitch something finish it, probably sort of like a not a flat fold, but just like a flat finish. Either wrap it around some batting and then on like a heavy duty like cardboard or something like that, and then mount it onto the piece of wood. So I started looking for Santas to stitch. Now I prefer old world Santas over just the traditional white and red Santas. So this is the Prairie Schooler Santa Moon, and I've decided to take some of these Santas and stitch them. So the first one I stitched was this blue guy here. Yeah, you can see him, yeah. Did the little star he's holding, but I didn't do any of the little extra little stars, the motif here, or the moon. The second one I'm working on is the Santa here. Ayrton really likes the green one, so I'll have to see, because I have to keep it within the 4-inch diameter. So these first two, the first one that I've stitched and the second one that I am stitching, are on 36 count. And so when they're finished, they'll fit perfectly on a circular piece of the wood. We went up, what, 2 weekends ago? There's a road runner going across my neighbor's driveway. They're not like the cartoon road runner. They're very small. Yes, they are fast. I'm watching him. Very interesting. Anyway, holy moly, off topic. So here is, so 2 weekends ago, we went up north to Alpine, Arizona, just to sort of get away out of the heat. And while I was there, I was able to finish this cute little guy, just using the called for DMC. You could definitely, you know, use some sort of blue variegated, and the star is there. So yeah, he will fit perfectly. Here is the start of the Santa, very minimal. So yeah, I mean, these guys are really easy to stitch up, really fast, minimal colors, change your own colors, use over dyed, super cool. So yeah, so that has been what I've been going towards. Now, besides the Santas, I have been, I only have 2 other whips. That's it. So I thought I'd show the 2 other whips because they are Halloween, October, Christmas, dark October stitching related. This one I have not touched in a hot minute. This is the Book of Spells from the Good Housewife. This was gifted to me a couple years ago by Emily, and I know I went to Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas not soon after that, after receiving it, and I got the threads, but I believe I'm just using, I think this piece I'm actually using Anchor Black, when that whole like, oh, what covers better, Anchor Black or regular DMC? Stitching this on 40 count Lakeside Linen Vintage Lentil. And this is as far as I have gotten. I think the words, all the black, kind of did me in. Still love it. Want to finish it in some cool McKenna style. And I know I would be happy once I got it done, but it's okay. Hasn't been calling to me. It's all right. It's okay. Let's talk about the Good Housewife for a second. I have been trying for several months to get in touch with the designer, and so far have not heard any word back. I did get some sort of insight into the designer and have some sort of background knowledge. But so far, no communication with her, because I know how much so many of you guys love so many of Good Housewife charts. So it is still on my stovetop. My other whip, ink circles, another year creeps by. Do them individually, do it as one huge piece, maybe pick 9 of them. So I decided to do the whole thing, which I do regret, but I look at it and it's so amazing, especially on what I'm stitching it on, which is this Havana? No, it's called Tobacco, Hardanger 22 count. And I know I'm just stitching 1/1, which is great coverage. Hardanger 22 count, 1/1. It's amazing. Let's see, is it this way? And this is how much I have, and again, have not picked this up for months. The squiggly border in between each one, and then the corners, which are bats. Kind of a mother. So, but using the DMC colors, and I really do like it. So, again, it's not calling me, but a couple months ago I had gone through my whips and I had tossed out 2, I believe. And I don't feel bad. I'm one of those people, I don't feel bad getting rid of whips. If you started them, fine. If you put time into them, fine. You can't get that time back, right? But don't stitch on it because you feel this need, like you need to, because, well, I started it, so therefore I must finish it. Nope. Where's that goddamn rule? So I got rid of 2 of them and thought, not my style. These I still love. I do want them to be complete. So I'm not on the fence with it, like, maybe I should figure out how to way to not finish it completely and kind of change the chart sheet. I definitely want to complete each of them fully. And I will. It's okay. So yeah, that is that. Let me show you a finish I have had since the last time. So, let me open up my drawer. So you guys remember my drawer is where I put patterns once I'm done stitching them, finishes, Any little things I get to show you so that I know, hey, when you make a video, pull all the stuff out of the drawer and talk about it. The plantation sampler. You guys are still loving this gorgeous piece, only available on 1884 Stitchery as PDF or paper copy. I love seeing your guys' progress, changing threads, changing the fabrics. You guys use it as a piece for sampler September. Tagged me in it. I love seeing it. Thank you so much. So I stitched it too, not the full thing, a shortened version, because I do love the words and I love that border. To those who came before me, this work I dedicate, for simple pleasures they did seek and with their hands did make. I used the Call For DMC and I stitched this on 40 count, and I don't know if I had the color, what color blue this is. So yeah. But yeah, that border I just really, really love. And I know a lot of you guys have too. So yeah, that is all that I have stitched. So I need to find a narrow long frame and frame it up and then have it, you know, stop right underneath the vine. So I don't think I can, this might be I might be able to take this into Michael's. I found out, I'll show you the piece I did get back from Michael's. My girl told me that the minimum height and width has to be 5 inches or taller, 5 inches or more. And I don't know if this is 5 inches, I'd have to measure. But thrift store finds, thrift store frames are the best because you can find custom frames that are funky sizes. So I haven't gone thrifting in a long time and I've been getting my thrifting sixth sense. So I feel like I need to take some of these that are hanging in my closet just because they are kind of a funky frame, funky dimension. So yeah, this is how I store them in my closet here. These are just hangers, so once I iron them, I can stack up many of them and I just hang them so they stay nice, organized, and all that jazz. All right. So yeah, plantation sampler. It's a beauty. 1884 Stitchery. All right. Next, let's do, oh, my finish. So this is a badge of merit, one of the little small charts from Blackbird Designs. Remember Me. And I absolutely love it. I have wanted to stitch a Remember Me piece for a while. I have these shelves, floating shelves, and on one of them I have the grave rubbings of my great-grandparents, my grandfather's parents, who were from Italy, and have those framed up. I have my grandpa's signature of 1884, which is my logo tattoo. I have that framed. Picture of both of my grandparents who are now passed. His eyeglasses, and And what else do I have? The piece that I stitched for my grandma in honor of my grandfather. So I have all those things up there, and I wanted to do a remember me and sort of make it a shrine in a way to them. You know, I have a picture of my dad and me on my desk. So just really happy with how this turned out. Wanted the, I used the called for colors, over dyed colors that are called for in the chart. Loved the font, the little motifs, and definitely wanted a chunky, very ornate frame, and this brushed brown goldish really picks up with the brown. Yeah, and I always do wire hanger, no glass, and so yeah, absolutely love this piece. Really, really do. I don't have anything in the queue to send to Michael's to be framed. But it's always so exciting. I love going. And if you haven't tried your local Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever you have around, if you don't have a custom framing, and framing can be expensive, absolutely. Now, if you don't do glass, obviously it's cheaper. The size of it's gonna make it, you know, fluctuate in price. My Michael's girl was really, really cool. I said, look, you have all of, when I first went, I said, you have all these, you know, examples of the frames up on the wall. How do I know which one is the cheapest to the most expensive? And she says, on the side, there's stickers, and the yellow is the cheapest. And I said, perfect. Because I don't need anything crazy. I don't need hand whittled wooden frames. Yes, the more expensive the frame, the more detail it has, the thickness. Okay. But if you're looking for just something very basic, I just stick with the yellow stickered frames. And you can always frame stuff yourself. There's all kinds of great tutorials online. And a lot of the pieces I have framed are just sandwiched between the glass and the back. So when I stitched Mystic Stitch, finished it, has glass. I use the glass as a template. So I put it on my stitched piece, measure that it's the same, hold it down, use a pen, pencil, whatever you want to use, and trace, right? Take the glass off, cut where you made the lines, clean the glass. I put it back in the frame, like down, put the fabric straight down, right? Once you've cut it out, and put a backing on, and that works. It will not droop, it will not sag, and only you will know that you did like a sandwiched finish. So the picture that was in this gold frame was this bluebird like needlepoint piece, and it was all framed up in here. So I used this as the backing, and it's shiny because I just used packing tape all the way to the edge to hold it down. Used the existing wire, and I am totally fine with it. So again, and a thrift store frame, which was I think like $1 or $2, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So nothing crazy, but then this was $187. Yeah, so my most expensive framed piece at Michael's. Is it always $187 every time I do a finish? No, not at all. So variety of ways to finish stuff, but there are definitely options when it comes to framing. Okay, what next? Fair entries. So the Arizona State Fair started a little over a week ago. I have not been. The boys are not really into going to the fair. I don't know, it's just not something that they bug us about. I do not know what I have won. If I've placed, I don't know anything. I don't get an email saying, hey, congratulations, make sure to come and see what you won at the fair. Nothing like that, which I love, because I love surprises, just showing up and seeing if I'm really excited or really pissed off. I think I'm over the whole geese thing, how many years later. So definitely want to go in a couple weeks towards the end of the fair, just so my stitching pieces can still be out, because when I show up is when I actually take them. You're supposed to leave them the whole time and then go back to the fairgrounds like for 2 pickup days. But it's kind of a ways, and it's not in the safest part of town. Now, not that that deters me, but I've already made 1 trip down there to drop them off, another trip down there, then to go and see them, and then we'd have to make a 3rd trip to pick them up. So that's why I take my ticket stubs that show, have my name, match them up and say, hey, I'm taking my pieces now. So I've done that every single year, and it's more of a telling them, not an asking them. So I don't have to flex too hard. But no, I'm really excited to see, when I did drop off my stitched pieces, I was able to see the other competition. But it'll be just exciting to see. So, obviously when I go down, I'll take pictures, let you guys know. I'll let you guys know on here. So yeah. Okay, so fair entries. I have not been stitching on those Santas the last couple days. Can we talk about these pens? They're bone pens. I wish they were real bones. They're not. They're plastic. Girlfriend of mine sent them to me. So give me some bone pens. I'll be happy. So I haven't been stitching on the Santas because I have been on a diamond painting kick. Yes. I don't know why, what sparked it. So this is, let's see, I can't show you because I'm using my phone. Let me grab the picture. Now it's a tiny picture. Now I bought this from Treasure Studio Art, God, easily over a year ago. Love all the colors. She kind of gives off like a where in the world is Carmen Sandiego vibe. But there is the image. It's a candle, her hat. Yes, she's blue. These crystals. I just think it's really, really cool. So it's 60 by 80. And that is centimeters. That's just how they are measured. Obviously, the bigger the DP, it's your joke, the more detailed you're going to get. Whereas if you go smaller, it's going to be less detail, more pixelated. So here is what I have. So here's it's going to fully roll out. Nope. Okay. So you can see, though, the image, what it does, look like. here is what I have completed so far. I got her eye in last night, but I loved doing this crystal work and then how it cascades down her hat. So yeah, I prefer round drills. I love the look of square because it just gives that full solid mosaic look. But round drills are easier with my OCD. So round drills it is. So been working on that, plan to do that today. Been stitching that and watching Netflix. What did I just finish watching? A ton of episodes. Unexplained. William Shatner is the voice host. Not a fan of William Shatner, but Unexplained. Super, super cool. Each episode, they talk about, you know, if it's like vampires and werewolves, where that came from. Are they real people that have supposedly seen them or considered themselves vampires or werewolves? Animals that, you know, sort of have like a ESP or are very tuned in with humans. There was an example of like equine horse therapy, and how horses are very in tune with human emotions, stress, or anxiety. Weather phenomenons, UFO phenomenons, just really, really interesting cultural things. So I got into it, told Joe about it, and Joe's like, stop watching it, then we can watch it together. And I said, well, I can't stop and watch something else. I need to finish watching it. So I finished it last night. And I told him it'd be really cool to watch like an episode each night. And I think that the boys, especially Cal, would really like it. He likes watching stuff like that. But currently Joe and Cal are watching Breaking Bad. So they were on Outlander. I don't know what happened to that. But he was liking Outlander. But he really likes Breaking Bad. So, so when I was diamond painting, I was watching that. And then I started up watching Dahmer on Netflix. And so I think I'm on, really like it, really interesting. But it's funny for those that have watched it, the first episode, you know, they're explaining to Jeff's dad that comes into the police station and explaining that, you know, your son had a human head in his refrigerator and, you know, all these body parts and bags in the freezer. And then they're like, and then he had, you know, bodies in a barrel and acid in his bedroom. And we found 3 more human skulls. And I'm like, I have 3 human skulls. Yeah. So I told Joe that, and the boys decided I'm like the female Jeffrey Dahmer. And I said, no, I'm not killing the people, I'm not eating them, I'm not getting off on it. So, but I did name him. This is Oscar. So Oscar, Charlie, Beauregard, my trio. Leave how weird I am comments down below. All right. I want to get back into going to retreats in 2023. Go into retreats I've never been to, places. There is a Facebook group I am a part of. Is it just Cross Stitch Retreats? I forget what the name of it, but if you just do a search, Cross Stitch Retreats, I believe a group does come up. And basically you go there if you're planning one, you know, news about one. So it's all one area. A lot of them are in Florida. Fine. Have money, will travel, kind of a thing. So yeah, I kind of want to go to these. I want to go to more, which then got me thinking. I have not planned a retreat in a long time. Stitchnanigans, number 1, was in 2019. Here in Chandler, Arizona. Absolutely loved it. I loved doing it. I loved putting together, organizing it, seeing everyone come together, the laughs, the photos that were taken, the goodness. So I am playing with some dates. All information will be released when I nail it down solid. But stay tuned. Las Vegas, 2023, Stitchnanigans. Just wait. All right. Let's talk 1884 because there's so much. And I love you guys so much. You guys, I'm coming up on, I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering this. I believe it's 4 years of 1884, November, because I launched on Black Friday. Yeah, because my dad was alive when I had started 1884, so 4 years. Isn't that weird how like huge events in your life, you're like, okay, well, like Joe asked me something the other day and I was like, okay, my dad's been gone 3 years, so I know it was before, but 1884, I am so appreciative and humbled, and I was thinking about it last night when I was going to bed, when I'm in my office every single day for hours on end doing something 1884 related. I am working like 12 days a week. You didn't think it was possible? Guess what? It's possible. You thought it was just 7 days? No, it's 12 days. And very late nights sometimes. But not early mornings because I sleep in. Arlene knows that. So let's talk new releases for 1884. I have found my niche in new releases when it comes to doing what I am doing. No one else is doing what I am doing, which I love. I love to bring new exclusive items to 1884. That is definitely my niche and the angle that I like to operate on. I don't like to be everyone else, and that's with dress or what I do, or even with 1884. Yes, selling cross-stitch stuff just like any other LNS or 1-2-3 stitch, but I've definitely shaped 1884 to be unique, and that's what I love. So I purchased last year Macintosh samplers. There are about 22 samplers within Macintosh samplers that I have begun to rechart, make the charts better, give them a facelift, make them PDF available for the very first time. So my latest one, I've already released Jane Harris, Ann Keeler, and I forgot to run off a copy of Rebecca Winborn. So my newest release, Elizabeth Haxton, which she stitched in 1866. Now this is the before chart. This is how they looked, photographed, taped, all the instructions, extra bits, and how the chart was. My version, here we go. So Elizabeth Haxton, and let me actually get the stitched piece for you guys to show. So when I purchased Macintosh samplers last year, I drove to Dodge City, Kansas to meet with then the current owner, and got copies of all the charts, which I already had, but got a couple more copies, the old copies of the charts, because that's what I work off of, plus all of the stitched models. So here is Elizabeth Haxton, 1866. There are, in this chart, let me go through, it is only 7 DMC colors, and stitches used are cross stitch, Algerian eyelet, 4-sided square stitch, and back stitch. Do not get freaked out about that. Do not let that intimidate you. If you don't want to do the back stitch, which is around these A through N line, then don't. You don't need to, but you can if you want. This alphabet, or this line here, are all 4-sided. You don't want to, you don't have to. I was on Instagram Live the other day, and someone suggested how great just this middle section band would be as a drum. Absolutely gorgeous, yes. Love the colors on Elizabeth, and I hope you guys do too. So yeah, love that. So, you know, it's a, you know, combination of wanting to release so many charts of, you know, I'd love to just have all the Macintosh charts out already. But I'm also working with so many other designers, and so it's kind of, you know, finding that happy medium of releasing not only designs that I own, but then working with designers or museums to get out other charts as well. So more Macintosh sampler charts to come. Another release that I did along with Elizabeth that same day, Hillside Samplings Folk Art Horn Book. How great is this for October? Cute little stitch. Now, this piece, just by looking at it, you wouldn't think. Smyrna cross, 4-sided stitch, Scott stitch, Algerian eye, satin stitch, Italian cross stitch, rice stitch. Do you need to do them? No, but if you say, hey, I'd love to do something with specialty stitches that's not humongous, guess what? I got you right here. Is it easy enough to do A through Z all in regular full crosses? Absolutely. The dividing bands, could you just do in regular crosses? Absolutely. So let me show you. There is a whole page that will show the stitches. Now, if you need to see them done, worked up in real time, YouTube is your friend. I am not selling the horn book that it was finished on, but I know if you go on Etsy, there's all kinds of probably people that sell horn books in different sizes. So depending on what size count fabric you use, you'll be able to find a horn book that fits. So yeah, in just 2 colors, 310 and 822. Buying stash. So that's how I get 98% of my inventory is from buying deceased stitchers stashes or current stitchers stashes. You stitch a chart, put it in a box, whatever, you're probably not going to stitch it again. You don't want to deal with the Facebook groups of uploading the charts and all the information and then running after people to pay PayPal invoices. Guess what? I'll take care of it all. You send it to me. I get back to you. I'll cut you a check or PayPal you money as friends and family. And then I will take all your loved charts, thread, fabric, whatever, and get it out to new loving homes. So if that is something that you or someone that you know would be interested in, you can shoot me an email. Email is down below, McKenna@1884stitchery.com. I will get back to you and will give you all the information. What do I accept? What I don't accept? Sort of the whole thought process behind it. Also included in that email is my address. So if you want to go ahead and send it, you can. Things that I don't take. Nothing from, smoking homes, because it is so hard to get the smoke out of fabric, threads, and paper, and just the sensitivity to smoke that a lot of people do have. Nothing needlepoint related, because that is its own separate thing. Magazines just take up space, and it's just really not worth trying to resell them. Books are, I would need to see them. So if you have like old sampler books, sometimes, but books are really hard to sell, because usually people want to flip through them, see them, look at them. And so all the books that I have in inventory are actually in my charity page. Hoops, frames, I don't deal with any of that. But yeah, if selling stash, destashing is something that interests you or someone that you might know, get in contact with me. So Pretty Pins got the Halloween releases in stock, and these were made available a couple weeks ago. You guys are loving these, so whatever is up is what I have at the moment. I will be getting a holiday shipment, which, oh my god, you guys, just wait. And So Pretty Pins, only available at $18.84. Look at this pumpkin set. I can't. They're all hand assembled. I have a friend who either, you know, hand dyes the ribbon. She does all the cutting out, packaging, assembling. You can see the full detailed write-up under the description box for each one and how the materials that are used. This is so vintage. Look at this. This is Coffee Lovers. And this is the Liberty Love in silver. So, yes. So, got some of those in stock, but what I have left of the Halloween, I can't remember now. And I know you're yelling at me because we talk about it. The Halloween ones that I have might be it for the year, for this year. There are more Halloween that could pass as Halloween fall ones coming, felt pumpkins. Oh, you guys. So follow So Pretty Pins on Instagram, Facebook. Follow me, 1884 Stitchery, Instagram, Facebook, and I put up little sneak peeks of what's to come from So Pretty Pins. You guys can drool over them. Future release at 1884. If you guys have made it this far, this is what will be coming soon. Amy Eliza Herbert sampler. There you go. Spread the word. All right, I am thinking that is it. I think that is it. Again, thank you guys so much for the love, the support, my channel, 1884, all of it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Happy stitching, and you guys will see me soon.